I don't want any part of Elden Ring, man. That game whooped me so bad. It's possible I'm just bad at that game or that type of game, or maybe I was just disinterested. But the way I remember it is that I really wanted to like this thing that everybody liked, which is where you are now. And it didn't like me back. It's one of those things like that just... I almost think that people are lying.
I think cigars, everyone's fibbing.
I think that I think that an elite group of people play it and are challenged by it and have a great time, and then all their fans and the culture behind it are all pretending. Like I got to see these people's like Steam accounts to believe that these people actually beat this game that readily. It's possible that I'm just absolute trash, but it just seems like such an uphill battle. Like the idea of spending 12 hours on a boss to me, I guess, is just so
that
foreign.
sounds so tedious.
You know,
dude,
like
that idea that everybody's lying. There are like 7 Beatles songs I like. People who like their entire library, I'm like, are you kidding me? No way you like this song.
There's a lot of trash in here, dude. Yellow Submarine rocks, but there's a lot of nonsense. Yeah, they could be fibbing, just trying to LARP as the best gamers, because that's a cool thing to be a good gamer.
Yeah, right. It's all over like my little internet universe, right? The algorithm keeps feeding it to me. I keep watching it. I'm watching Elden Ring cosplay. Girlfriends play Elden Ring tricks on their boyfriends, and I'm just
Elden Ring porn.
I have to see it. No, literally, no.
Can we play together? Like can is it like open world?
No,
co-op?
It's a single player game.
Oh,
but
that's right.
Taylor, how does it work? Like, how does let me solo her help me if it's
that's only in boss battles? I think you go to like a separate arena, like you go to an area and then like a boss battle begins and you're kind of in a little arena, and maybe during that phase they can invade or whatever it's called.
I thought it was because I thought the other Dark Souls games, they were all single player. Is that not?
Oh, wait.
Correct?
Let me read what Zach wrote. Yes, one of the unique features of Elden Ring is the ability to play co-op with anyone playing the game. With the usage of a few items and following some steps, players need to make themselves discoverable and can then summon others in their game. You can all work together to vanquish boss fights. I wonder if...
That's pretty cool.
How does it impact everybody's like save, right? Like, let's say, for example, Kyle's some awesome Elden Ring player, and I join him. Like, does that mean I've got that far in the campaign, or if I join him, do I not make any progress personally? I wonder.
So I've only played maybe a dozen hours of this shit, so I have a tentative grasp on what progressing through the campaign even means. But it felt to me, again, in my 12 hours, it felt to me like this was not a paint by numbers like kind of thing. Some areas are just tougher than others, so you want to sort of pick around the hard parts. But it didn't seem like there was much of a story. I mean, finding the first NPC took me an hour. Like the first guy to talk to, you know, like
I think I'm gonna look for help online, because
you will want that.
Your experience seems really common. That a bunch of people are like, first of all, watch the forest rabbits. They're like boss characters in any other game. And then, then it took me an hour to find anything I was supposed to find. I ventured off in the wrong direction, which is impossible until your character's built up. And I'm like, oh, shucks, I should avoid some of these pitfalls.
Yeah.
There's
I see from Elden Ring will be like, oh, this dude underestimated the lilac meadow.
Welcome to the Thunderdome. Bringing up mana for this.
That'd be the bad place, but no, people.
The butterflies are swarming. The butterflies are swarming. Yeah, I had no idea what to do. I remember just feeling so lost and like just riding around on that horse and wondering what this was all supposed to be about. And and then also just getting beat up by the Roman Legion or whatever, skeletons maybe, and definitely those bats or those pterodactyls or whatever were biting me all the time. It was not a fun time. I keep wanting to go back to Tarkov, if I'm being honest. Like I'm trying not to, but I kind of want to. They're about to wipe.
I'm loving it. I got addicted to Elden Ring. Right now, my thoughts are like,
glad you're liking it.
How long until I get back to Elden Ring?
Have you played
it's really fun to play with
Scott?
Have
you played Elden Ring at all?
Dark Souls.
I tried Dark Souls back in the day, but I'm the kind of guy, I don't actually want to challenge when I play games. I'm just like, nah, I want to mow shit down like it's nothing. So anything where anything where people are like, dude, I died 50 times. I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna probably gonna do well with that.
No, I want to walk in and instantly be the Titan.
My
Exactly.
wife is giving me advice on how to cheese boss characters. Like, hey, if you just hop on your horse, take a slash and run away, hop on your horse, take a slash and run away, then you can kill this guy and not take damage. And I'm like, honey, we have to put the time into actually getting good. Like, that strategy won't last forever. And I'm just going to get tougher and tougher bosses without improving my own skills.
It's like Wayne Gretzky telling you, like, no, Woody, the key to passing hard and accurate is like, be accurate and do it hard. Like, and you're like, okay, that doesn't help.
I'm gonna need you to throw it 4 miles per hour faster than that. Can you handle it?
It's not that. No, she's like teaching me to win boss battles without skill. Hop on your horse, take a slash, get out of there. Just do that 30 times and you'll win. And I'm like, no, I need to be in here on my feet, learning to evade, or I'll never. Like, your strategy isn't going to take us where we want to go.
Or a boss is going to come by that this cheese doesn't work on, and then you're going to start at square one instead of like developing the dodge over the game.
Kyle, how is Elden Ring? So people don't know, Kyle got Elden Ring, felt like it was too difficult, tried to return it, had played it more than 2 hours, so Steam said no. Tried it again. Where are we?
So quickly, for anyone who doesn't know, Elden Ring was just released. It's essentially an open world Dark Souls game. If you don't know what that is, fucking Google it. I'm not going to break it down any more than that. But it's a really, really fucking hard game. And the reviews are all right. It is one of the best games I've ever seen. I am not good enough to play it. And I think maybe if I'd played previous Dark Souls titles, like maybe that would have prepared me for this. But I've never played a game that required so much memorization of enemies and stuff, while at the same time not give me what I actually want in a game. So there's two issues with the game. Not only is it incredibly difficult, but when I do prevail, I don't feel properly rewarded because it's not a game made for someone like me. I was looking for an RPG, and that's not what this is. And I should have known that going in. I should have done my research. It's a Dark Souls game. It's about memorizing those hack and slash things and prevailing through like that memorization and being good at the game. And that just doesn't appeal to me. So that's why I don't like the game, and I'm not going to play the game anymore because I'm not good enough to play it. And when I do sit there for a few hours and like get it, because there is no difficulty slider, and I don't think there should be. There probably shouldn't be, because that's not what they're going for. This is the game they wanted. They made the game they wanted to make. It's just not the game that I want to play. So if you like Dark Souls games, if you like that, what's that Ninja Gaiden game? Maybe it had a similar thing that's incredibly difficult. Then you'll love this. It's a beautiful, amazing game, but it's too hard for me, and I don't feel rewarded when I win.
I'm disappointed because it looks so cool, but watching even clips online of people who are putting a lot more time into games than I put into games are getting wrecked. And
see, that's the other thing. Like when we watch like I don't feel bad about being as shit at the game as I am, because when I watch like professional gamers play it, they're getting fucked up too. Like they're doing better than me, but they're still getting fucked up.
That's discouraging.
In the PKA Hangouts, we do that the $50 hangout with the Patreons every month. The people in there are good gamers, right? These are like,
bless you.
If they tell you the game is so hard, it's difficult to get through, that's like, I'm lacking words. These are people who have invested thousands and tens of thousands of hours into games over their lifetime. They're good. They're really good. And if it's too hard for them, it's hard. Kyle's a guy he's a real gamer. If it's too hard for Kyle, it's hard.
People think Tarkov's hard. I think Tarkov's super easy. It's just time consuming. This game is just fucking hard. And look, I tried it on controller and I tried it on PC, and I couldn't find like any way to be any better at this game. Or no, I mean, I should say keyboard and mouse and on the Xbox controller. The Xbox controller was better, but not having control of your camera or having to like continuously control the camera, to me, is a terrible idea. And it felt awful. If that's what Dark Souls players like, then more power to them. But I fucking hated it.
Yeah, I hate having to adjust my camera in the middle of trying to play a game.
Well, on keyboard and mouse, keyboard and mouse, the camera just says, "All right, I'll just be right here where you want me, always." And it's just really pleasant to play on keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody
I got my foot pedals though. So they say that about the controller because like they've never tried it on keyboard and mouse. And I get that the proper way to play it is controller, probably the best way to play it. but not in my experience. I don't know. Keyboard and mouse with my foot pedals to do all the D-pad shit seemed to work just fine.
Can you see yourself trying
Never
again?
No.
Maybe.
I'm curious about Elden Ring though. How much time did you actually give that game before you gave up on it?
25 minutes. I got just butt fucked by the night in the beginning, and I was like, this is too much for me. Like
I probably did about 10 hours. And then also
you gave it the old college try.
Yeah.
I did some research too on just watching people play and listening to people talk about the issues that I had with it, which I don't remember quite well. I know I had some issues with the difficulty, but that's just those games. That's just Dark Souls like games. And if you're not into that, you're not into that. And I don't think I am.
I tried to cheese that first boss the way you could cheese the giant in Skyrim, and it did not play.
There was something about the NPCs and how the NPCs worked that I didn't care for. I do like that traditional.
Did you like it, Hutch?
I loved Elden Ring, but it took a minute because the game is the like some of the systems come across as like really rudimentary, and so that's a game that does not hold your hand at all. So you open the doors and you see Limgrave, and the game centers the sort of like cinematography on your ultimate goal, which is this giant Erd tree, but it doesn't tell you like where to go. It doesn't tell you any of that. There's no quest tracker or anything. And this is culturally a big part of From Software games. It's just part of the deal is like you just got to figure it out. And for me, I'm used to like dummy Ubisoft games, which tells you exactly like what to do and exactly what order, and it gives you these giant quest markers. And so initially that was frustrating, but me playing it on a 32:9 screen, like I have this super ultra wide screen, and visually the game is just so impressive and immersive that it makes you want to like discover more things in the world. And so I had never played like Dark Souls before playing the game, so like it was rough for the first 20 hours playing
20 hours.
Dude, it was rough,
dude. The skill
you
required is what scared me off of that game. So I'm currently bad at games. I'm not gaming a lot, a little Mortal Kombat with my son, but that's it. And I'm currently bad. Taylor plays games. Kyle's good at games, and both of them said it's too hard. We have like Patreon hangouts and stuff with our fans, and some of them are great at games. You know, those top 0.1% in Call of Duty, for example, like they're great at games, Rust, and they said it was too hard. And it's like, God darn, if they think it's too hard, what hope do I have?
Scum is loving it. Scum's playing it right now. He just now got into it, like coincidentally that we're talking about it, and he's been like, "Come on, Kyle, download this game." And I'm like, "Dude, I downloaded it when it fucking came out. I bought it like an hour after it was possible. I pre-ordered that shit. I don't like it. It's not for me." I'll tell you what else I did. Like in my 10 hours or whatever of playing it, like I never had any fun. Like when I when I would win fights, I didn't care. Like the and that's a problem sometimes when people try to get me into games. I'm like, yeah, but guys, like okay, we'll get all the credits, we'll get all the gold, and then what will we do? Oh, we'll buy a grenade launcher for our guns. Okay, well that completely changed what this game is about. Well, no, you'll just be able to kill the crabs more faster. I don't like killing the crabs, guys. Oh. Well, you don't like the game then. This is Crab Killer.
And the upgrade system that they have is like really, it's kind of complicated. Like you have to get a specific kind of stone to upgrade specific weapons, and then you need another one, and you can only get these stones in like caves that are
I'm okay with that.
Map. You know, but like it's just a lot. It's just there's a lot to learn.
What was the other game? What was the other game that was like a remake of an older game that we just played a shit ton of? Like last year. It's like the third or fourth sequel of something.
Was it that top-down one that I saw?
Yeah, It's the top
Total
down
War.
No,
Warhammer 3.
No, it's the
XCOM?
one where you've got one character and you're running around and you're.
Vermintide.
I'll Google games that came out last year.
That's gonna take so long, man.
Did you guys play? Did you guys play, for example, Jedi Survivor or the first one, Fallen Order?
No, I've never played
a.
So do you know? I've mentioned Mitch a time or two. This is Colin's friend. He stays in our guest house now. He beat Elden Ring. He's kind of cool. He's in fucking Georgia right now doing stunt work, like as a stuntman. But
cool.
Anyway, so I have a guy to tap into for advice who's around all the time.
You hand the control to him every now and then. I mean,
I didn't even think of that. Advice? What am I doing?
yeah.
Show me how it's done.
Like, put your hands on my hands. Don't make it weird. Come on.
How am I going to learn unless we do this? Oh, I'm sorry. Is my guest house not nice enough?
Yeah.
Those are light bulbs changed?
The least you can do is be this boss for me.
He pays rent. Like but like, here's what happened. He needed a place to live, and he asked about the guest house. And Jackie and I were like, do we want him to live in the guest house or not? And we were like, I think it'd be nice if he was there. It'd be like a win for our family if he lived so nearby. Mm-hmm. So I went to Zillow and I looked at every rent in Raleigh, Cary, Apex, Night, like the nearing 6 towns. And I beat every rent on Zillow within like 70 miles. And he's like, yeah, I'm in. I'm like, yeah, I thought you might be.
Yeah, I also called this one place and told him that he was a drug addict. Unfortunately, that spread back to his family. And
you can make like a financial incentive, like $100 off for helping me beat Milena. Like, whoever the big bosses are.
Yeah, if you play Chivalry, I'm down. There's like a little Roman village. Like when you begin the game, you come out of this tomb or whatever, and there's this big tree over there, and then there's this big, enormous knight riding around. I don't know what he's called, but he's a fucking terror to behold. And if you go kind of like to your right, to your 3 o'clock for like 3 minutes, you run into like a Roman village where there's a bunch of soldiers.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like I would go there and die over and over and over. Like you'd have to like cheese them. You'd have to sort of like antagonize them and hurt a few, and then run and run and run, and then come back and hurt them some more.
Their dog got me a couple times.
Oh, of course. They had like a pack of them.
I was treating you as a Skyrim dog, where it's like one quick dispatch. But no, this thing was like dodging and attacking me. And
at my peak, I never claimed to be Optic Scum or whoever or Optic. What's his name?
Midnight.
No, he starts with an Scump.
X.
That's what I was going for. I never claimed to be Octip, Scump, or Rambo, whoever you want. But when I was at my best, I was someone who would probably help your team.
Of course.
That was good to have around. That's not me anymore. I played Doom not long ago, and I was like, we're going to lower the difficulty for this part of the game. So now I'm jumping in Elden Ring. It's got to be a mistake, but I just have to see it.
I mean, hopefully you have fun.
Use the controller for that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I do.
For Elden Ring?
I do hear it's better on. It's kind of like Diablo in that you can play it with mouse and keyboard, but it's like formatted for controller play.
Oh,
by the way, I started on keyboard and I was complaining to everybody. I was like, guys, it's just so goddamn hard. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just fighting bats in a meadow, and I don't, and they're like
bats I've ever seen in a video game.
I'm fighting these bats in a meadow, and I win half the time. And every time I die, it seems like it resets me to the very beginning, and I don't know what to do. And they're like, "Oh, you're not playing on keyboard, are you?" And I'm like, "Yes." Problem solved. Get yourself a controller. Went got the best controller. I think they're like $300 themselves now. Still got owned even harder. It was worse. It was worse. I was like, I was doing okay on the keyboard. I could at least keep my head pointed the right direction. Now I'm looking at the sky.
You're just not a controller gamer anymore. You don't have your controller sea legs.
Yeah, and that guy in Elden Ring who just wears like a bucket on his head and he's naked.
Yeah, I think.
Let me solo her.
That was his character.
I saw him tweeting or something about how hard the new DLC was. And
what?
Apparently the new DLC for that game. Not only is it one of those DLCs where it's like this is like a sequel almost. This is like a huge addition to this game, and people are pretty psyched about that. But it's also apparently one of the hardest. Everybody's saying it's too hard. I've seen streamers just dozens and dozens of hours into one boss, and people who were normally good at the game really struggling with it. Some of the best games I've ever played have been the last couple years. Baldur's Gate 3 was such a home run. Like I've never played an RPG. I had always thought of the Elder Scrolls games as like the pinnacle of RPGs, but this blows that shit out of the water. It really does. It's a genre-defining
game.
it took the best from multiple games and then it wrote its own shit. Like I like that you can get fucked by a bear in that game. It's hilarious.
You're talking about Helldivers right now?
Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate.
Oh, okay.
And just how we are, I think, in like a real golden age of gaming. I think some of the games I don't like Elden Ring, but it's clearly a masterpiece. I don't like those didn't a Zelda game or something like that come out that was like crazy good?
Yeah.
I never got into this.
It's tough because on Switch, like you can download an emulator and play it in 4K 60 frames, but on Switch they really stretched the tech as far as they could go for that handheld. It's a really cool game, but I'm such a snob. It's just really hard for me to play a game that dips down to 15 frames, and I just can't do it. I just really can't do it. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's really cool the stuff that they did. But they really like did stuff that no other. You build. It's hard to explain, but like you can put gadgets together. You can build like tanks. You can build flying devices to get places, and the way that you build them is really unique. I've just never seen another game do that.
Yep. It's it's fun to do that, but I'm just burnt out on that. So I'm definitely looking for a new game, and this Elden Ring thing might be it. I see a couple people are down to play tonight. So yeah, I'm gonna jump right into that thing after dinner tonight.
And I'll be interested in what you think of it.
Elden Ring you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I'll turn the stream on in the Discord if anybody wants to watch.
I'm so bummed out that it comes out at midnight. I won't have any time to play tonight. I just want to fucking just grind until like
There's
8
plenty of time left tonight.
What do you got to do tomorrow?
I have to do shit.
Yes,
I got morning meetings. I got shit I got to do.
Well, I mean, what happens if you don't make your meeting tomorrow morning? Probably nothing, right?
People won't be pleased about it.
Oh.
Did they know about Elden Ring?
They don't.
Elden Ring.
I'm very sick with Elden Ring flu. I'll be out until tomorrow.
The best call-in sick. You call up and you say, "I've got something wrong with my eyes," and they go, "What's wrong with your eyes?" And you go, "Just can't see myself coming into work today," and then just hang up the phone. It's great.
And the guy's like, "You know what? I like that ballsiness. You're promoted." And you're like, "Fuck you." And he's like, "Oh, you overstepped. You're fired."
Yeah.
Here's the.
I almost got fired once, like during the end of my job, because I called in sick and the woman called me back, and this was my substitute manager at the time, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm taking the day off sick," and then she was like, "Oh, what's wrong with you?" And I just like, "None of your fucking business," and then just hung up on her. they had a real problem with that.
Here's the move. If you want to call in sick, you tell them you have an upset stomach, because they don't want to hear any more about it, and you're not expected to be a little upset stomach tomorrow. It's the move. Also, migraine works. You can't work with a migraine. You can't even see. You can't read, and you're not supposed to have like a slight migraine the next day.
Yeah, that's a good call. You just can't. I mean, maybe
something wrong with your eyes is the best.
Yeah, I'm wrong, guys. I can't do literally anything you need of me because I can't see.
Yeah.
Or I can just I'm out of contacts and I lost my glasses. I'll be out for the next 3 to 5 weeks waiting on shipping.
Because they're coming from Canada and they can't get through the Freedom Train.
3 to 5 weeks, that's a long time. Well, this game is hard.
It's tough. I mean, it's tough time we're going through. It's rough.
Can't change the difficulty level, and I have to take this. I don't think you understand.
I hope that is something they add when they release the game.
Meetings aside, I'll be on tomorrow evening as well. Like, if you want to play.
I don't think I have anything going on tomorrow night, and so I will definitely be on playing. This looks like a blast.
Yeah, it looks really good. I love that it's co-op. I didn't know that. This could be very addictive for me.
Up to 4, you said, right, Slush?
I think so. But with the PC thing, as I said before, I don't know if the multiplayer servers are up for PC yet because they had like a security issue with it. So it may not be up for, but it'll be up for console. I believe it's up for console now.
Okay. No,
is this a huge game to download? Is it like one of the
I think
the COD-sized games?
I think it's 40 gig.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Oh, so it's like one map in Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that? Or like not even remember? Like that's still going on. Like when we tried to play Call of Duty, or at least when I would try and play it, because I would mess around and be like,
48
the one
gig
where like
uncompressed.
you're a box or a tire and you run prop game or something like that.
Yeah.
I was messing around with that. I swear to God, I had half a terabyte on my computer, like 550, 560 gigs, all Call of Duty. And it's like,
Oh yeah.
what the fuck? What are they like? What is the opposite of compressing a file? Like just exploding it? Like, what are they doing? Because it doesn't make any sense.
So I've never heard of tech like anyone to ask, how can you make this file take more space?
Yeah.
Well, we could actually write it out on paper, I guess. I mean, Jesus.
Because like you download that and it's like it's a new map pack and you expect him to be like worthy of that size, and it's like the size of Crossfire from COD 4.
Yeah.
Just a basic map, except you can't even glitch out.
I think the reason that they're so big, those games, is because they include like every texture. So they'll have like the 160p textures and then like the 4K textures for people that have like a dope gaming PC. And they just put all of them in when you could just like download them after.
I
Like,
think
just
Doom, when you're downloading Doom, it like gives you some sort of option about like shaders or something like that. Like I know a lot of games are good about that.
yeah, they should do that.
And
But COD is a catastrophe. You're right. It's and sometimes I'll like just want to play zombies like tonight. I don't want this even on my hard drive. How hard are you finding the game to be on a scale from 1 to 10?
I mean, I'm hard all the time when I play this game.
Yes, with the difficulty of the game, Woody. How are you finding it?
I think it's easier now than it was when you played it, and this is why. So at first I jumped in and I just Googled like how to start. So I found the first couple steps, and then I had the experience you did, which is like I'm taking on a sorcerer that the internet says you should be level 50 for. And not only am I level 19, but I'm like a bad, like I think I entered this as below average amongst noobs. So when I first get into, if people haven't played Elden Ring, you sort of look at your opponent's attack. When you roll, there's this brief window of invulnerability, and that's the core of the game's mechanic. So you need to time your evasion so that you don't take damage and then slice, and keep doing that. Well, you know, I was like panicking on the controller, button mashing a little bit. And then I find myself like during the sword swing, there's a little pause before you're able to do your next move. And so I'm like, no, evade. And I'm smashing evade while I'm waiting for my mistake to like stop doing there, and I'm getting hit. So I'm getting better and better at that. But Scum hit me up. A couple people hit me up, and they're like, hey, so you're playing Elden Ring? I'll guide you. I'll do this, all that. I'll do that. But Scum gave me some guides on the order to do everything. So now I'm no longer finding myself going down the wrong quest path that's inappropriate for my skill and talent. And I'm having success. I'm learning it. I'm getting my
Scum took Elden Ring out back and stomped a mud hole in its ass.
Yeah, he's so Scum has said, hey, if you get stuck on anything, summon me and I'll take care of him for you. And I'm like, okay, daddy. And and then the Dab Fellow's another guy I used to game with a lot. We used to play Tarkov together and stuff.
I remember
He's
that guy.
like, there is a mod that instead of just taking on bosses together, you can play the whole game as a pair. And I might do that too. But the thing is, like, Jackie's got her chair right here, and we're playing this game together. Like, she's on the internet giving me tips on how to face this guy, and like I turn the speakers on so she can hear everything.
It's fun.
And so we're just sort of co-op gaming this thing. I'm on the controller and she's on the strategy.
I do that a lot with my girlfriend. That's really fun.
Oh yeah. So so I think by the fact that now the internet holds your hand, there's a map where you can search and go the right way, whereas you went into it when the game was a few hours old and that content didn't exist yet.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. But then I saw some gameplay from Elden Ring yesterday, and I had never
just downloaded that today.
That looks so cool. I was just looking at that earlier today. I wrote it down to talk about it. It looks like Skyrim. It looks sick.
It looks better than Skyrim.
Did you guys ever play Dark Souls before?
Popular and just got second on Steam like all time.
Yeah. Have you guys ever played Dark Souls before?
No, but I'm aware it's a Dark Souls like game.
Yeah.
And the combat is very similar.
Yeah, it looks amazing. I haven't played it yet. I got my press copy last night and didn't even realize I could play it. And so I got on this morning and started it up, and it's really fucking good.
I watched the review.
The reviews are 10 out of 10.
Exactly. That was what I was going to say. The reviews all say 10 out of 10. And I watched a review yet today, I think. And this guy's like, look, 10 out of 10 doesn't do it. Okay.
Yeah, I'll watch that one as well. Yeah.
This is just the best game that's ever been made. He's like, I'm only going to show you a fraction of what there is to see, and it's more than I have time to show you. He's like, the worlds are so big, the combat is so incredible, like just every facet of the game. He was like, and he would stop. He's like, they didn't have to do this. They didn't have to, but they did. He's like, look right here. Look, randomly, a cave. Guess what? It's an enormous cave. It goes on for miles. It's hidden back here behind a shed in the mountains. There's no reason to even be here. You know, it's just like he was really like sucking this game's dick, and it didn't seem like he needed to like suck it that hard.
Yeah.
Like
George R. Martin is involved in it. Did you see that? But that doesn't mean the fantasy world.
That all that means to me is
shit writer and a sellout.
Yeah, or okay, so
it means he needed a paycheck to be on there as a consultant.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. I hope bad things happen to him.
So Lost Ark is the game I'm talking about. It's incredibly popular. It's the second most popular on Steam ever, and it beat Counter-Strike, I think.
What's it called?
Oh, yeah, that Lost Ark is a lot of people are addicted to that at the moment. So I haven't played it yet, but apparently it's quite good.
It beat out Dota 2. It beat out Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I'm trying to figure out what got first, the most popular game ever. It's like way ahead of even second place. Doesn't seem to be in this article.
What kind of game is it?
It is a RPG.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
An action RPG.
I'm watching my friend just here, and he's really into the Dark Souls games, and he was really pumped to play Elden Ring. He's like, I can get it on PC, but it releases 10 hours later. So he's like, I'm gonna get it on console instead, so I can start playing it at midnight. And he's been live for 19 and a half hours. He's been playing it for straight.
Jeez.
Is he going to lose his progress or stay on console?
I think he's going to finish it on console and then most likely finishing it on PC.
When's the release date for us peasants?
It's already out. It's out now. It was 10 a.m. this morning for me, which is 4 hours ago. So.
I might look into it because it looks pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. I fired it up this morning just before joining the podcast because I misread the time and I got up really early, and so I was like, oh, I'll just fire it up this morning while I'm waiting for you guys. So, and I've enjoyed it. It's the start of it.
It looks like for us the midnight release is tonight.
I might get it. I might get it tonight and check it out, dude. It looks so good.
It looks awesome.
It looks a lot like Skyrim. I need to look into it a little bit more. Is it RPG-esque? Like, is my magic going to keep getting better, and am I going to continue?
Yeah.
I'm going to find better and better swords
but there's also there's the combat's more skill based than
I saw that and I like that.
It's a lot more. It's more about like Dark Souls. You can finish the game at level 1 with your fists if you're skillful enough and you can dodge enough attacks to be able to do 1 damage to this end boss if you're really good at the game. But it does have the RPG elements where you level up and stuff like that. But it's also about becoming proficient at the combat and learning the weapon style that you choose and stuff like that. So it's half and half, between a good fighting game.
The review that I watched talked about how they made the combat much more complex and varied by making it more rewarding to do moves that weren't as popular. I guess heavy attacks weren't popular, but now heavy attacks break an enemy's stance so that you can then do some sort of execution move or something. So now that's going to be in your toolbox where it normally wasn't. The way he described it is before you could just use the quick attack over and over, slash, 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 and just kind of go through most of the enemies. And now it was going to be a lot more complex and complicated and fun.
Yep.
And the horse combat looks so slick. I saw horse combat. He's on a horse with a big sickle or something, and he's being chased by 3 bears, each of which are the size of an elephant. And when they chase him, they hit trees that fall out of the ground. I saw a dragon blow fire at him, and all the trees burnt and turned to crisp and fell over. It's a really slick looking game. I had no idea.
Yeah, enemies are massive on
look
scale.
way tougher. I'm watching just a stream of Ludwig playing it on YouTube just to see. It was the main one suggested, and I just happened to pull it up while he was fighting some giant Templar knight. And I've never seen a bad guy in Skyrim do side dodge rolls and stuff like that, and try and get behind you. And it fucking killed him. It smoked him. He was not prepared for what that guy was bringing to the table.
There's enemies in there that are they're meant to be spirits. and they essentially the player character, but they have like different kinds of armor and different builds. And when you summon those, like I've had times where I was playing Dark Souls 3 where I've summoned one. And I'm not the best, like I don't know that much about the game. I'll be fighting one, and I thought it was actually PvP because I'm like, this guy's fucking my shit up. And then everyone's like, that's AI, man. You're just shit. And I'm like, and they're like trolling me and like rolling away from all my attacks and stuff, and I'm just getting fucked by them. And I'm like, this is fucking
so that's an aspect of the game I'm curious about, because I only know like tangentially that you can do that sort of thing, because I know that like Wings would play that Dark Souls game and he'd sort of like throw out an open challenge that I guess you can like raid his single player game, and you can portray like one of his bosses or bad guys or something. And so like,
well, if you have it so it's like on, you can summon people to either help you or to people can invade your world. So they'll just like spawn inside your world as like essentially a shade, like ghost, like they'll be glowing like red, and then you just fight this dude that's like a similar level to you and in that location.
Mm-hmm.
You just be fighting like monsters, and then someone will invade your world. This is how it worked in Dark Souls 3. And then you'll just have this bloke running around who you've got to deal with, or you can summon your mate and he can come and do the same thing, but help you kill bosses and stuff like that.
So I wonder if that's it. Do you know if that's an aspect of this Elden Ring game?
I believe it is. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I
think there may be an issue with the PC multiplayer at the moment because they discovered like a remote code execution bug and they're trying to fix it on the server. So the multiplayer server isn't up for PC yet. So
it's also a beautiful game. Like just watching like him ride around on that horse, and like the sky is some sort of like fucking acid trip to begin with. Like I don't even know what that sky is. I don't know what the background of this game is. Like what universe this is, or time period, or what kind of magical nonsense is happening. But it looks fucking
always
fun.
The story in them is always sort of like vague, and you have to sort of delve deep to understand what's going on. But they are super beautiful. Like the level design and stuff is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna play.
This looks hard as shit. Ludwig has died 3 times since we started talking about
I
this.
bet he's had the difficulty on maximum though.
No, there's no max difficulty. You just get fucked.
Wait, there's no difficulty?
No. Well, there wasn't in the previous ones, and I'm pretty sure there's not in this one. It's just you get
Come on,
fucked.
this game. Taylor, ask him if there's difficulty.
Is there difficulty?
There's gotta be a difficulty setting.
I don't think there is. I don't think there is.
I've never heard of a game that didn't have one. How?
No. The idea is in the other ones that if you died, you just have to get better, and that was the
Dark Souls games before don't have difficulty settings either.
No, and they were just, the idea was if you can't beat the boss, you just need to learn how to dodge its moves better and block it and fight it.
This is a concept that I'm unfamiliar with, because I don't know. I play games like Call of Duty, Halo, Doom, I guess. You know, like all the RPGs that you can think of that are like AAA. But like I've never seen an Elden Ring, no matter how hard the players try. And holy shit, it doesn't have a difficulty setting. And Ludwig's getting shit on right now 3 times in a row.
Well, he may not be leveled up. He may not be leveled up enough.
Okay, that's fair.
But it's like, as I said, if you're good enough, you can finish the game on level 1.
Yeah.
Previous
but I don't know what I was thinking. Of course,
is that an achievable level of good enough? Like, do people do that?
Yeah, there's runs where like people do speed runs of all 3 Dark Souls games without getting hit once at level 1, and so they'll like just run the entire thing without getting hit.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Frustrating.
I forgot for a second that it's going to be this big sandbox open world thing where, like, of course you could. It's just like in Fallout New Vegas. It was like turn left and go to like Prem or something like that. This happy little town where you could get gear and free levels, or make a right and head toward the Death Claws. But I always went toward the Death Claws. Like, can we make it through past the Death Claws at level 4? Let's see it. Let's find out.
Okay.
Yeah,
it
was like trying to like kill that giant in Skyrim near Whiterun.
Yeah,
way before you were supposed to.
Yeah, you shoot him.
Well, I would assume that like if you are going into it, the Dark Souls games are notoriously difficult.
I like hard games, I'll get into it. Like the dodging mechanics is just going to be muscle memory, but I look forward to like a challenge. I'm really looking forward to that Dark Tide game though. That's going to be so much fun because I like games where I can co-op with like 2 to 3 friends or something like that.
Awesome.
Yeah,
you can co-op this. You can co-op Elden Ring. It's up to 4 players. Yeah, 4 players apparently.
Now is it like one of those things where like I could play with Taylor for an hour and then he could go to bed and I could continue playing and it wouldn't, and then he could jump back in the next day?
I think he just drops into your world and then just joins you on your adventures. And his character is just his character.
I'm downloading tonight if you want to play. I'm going to play. And we could get. I'm sure I could fill a lobby up with other people who will buy it. I'm going to tell everybody to buy it right now.
Yeah, you need specific items.
Or I guess we have to wait till midnight, right? Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, you have to find these things. They're called like fingers, and then you can summon people into your world. But in the previous games, you could get fucking heaps of them, and they were pretty easy to find. So it was. Like, I finished the whole of Dark Souls 3 co-oping with my brother using these summon items to summon him. It was like this chalk thing, and you like draw in the ground, and then I just summoned my brother into my co-op game. And then it had a bit of a weird thing where it's like if I did the boss in my world and he helped me, then he wouldn't have completed the boss in his game. So we'd like complete one area with my character, and then he'd summon me into his world, and then we'd go back and do the boss again in his world, and then just like. I mean, it's such a good game that I didn't mind doing all the bosses twice. So,
no. Yeah, I feel that for sure. No, I'm looking for a new game, and like everything else right now is like, man, that everything I've seen about Halo makes me so sick to my stomach.
It just does it look bad?
I'm correct me if I'm wrong. Like because I just like go through like memes and like word of mouth, but like I think they introduced like a girl character with like pink hair who's like.
I'm already sick.
Who like beats up Master Chief and like jokes about that he's shorter than he should be, and then she like saves the day or something like that. It's pretty accurate. Don't have like a pink hair, like
social justice, man.
I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong.
Take away the whole girl part and just be like, they hire anyone to come in and make fun of Master Chief and beat him up and actually say, it's like, no, you can't do that.
I don't know what actually happens. Again, I'm going off of memes and shit I read on Reddit, but I haven't played Halo since Halo 3, so it doesn't matter anyway. Same with Gears of War. I don't understand how let's go make a new thing. Once you complete the trilogy, like go do another creative thing.
Yeah. And they just tried Ride on their previous achievements.
Yeah, those things were self-contained. Like there was no more
it was
story.
Done.
Yeah, it was both times. I love the Gears trilogy.
Did you hear that Call of Duty is not coming out this year?
Bullshit.
Yeah. This is the first year in like forever that they're skipping a year, so there won't be a new one until 2023.
Yeah, the sales have been dropping, and people think it's getting worse. And I want to say in the previous year they like didn't do single player because they didn't have time for it. Maybe there was a studio change.
There was a problem. Like multiple studios they've been having like 2 to 3 studios collabing, and that just seems like that's a clear sign that maybe modern game development can't be done every single fucking year like that by any one studio. So maybe
Zach says they're not skipping this year; they're skipping next year. Maybe I was confused.
That's even better. I like that even more. Do we know? So I envision a scenario where they're like, all right, Raven, you make it this year, but Treyarch, you got 2 years. Get started. Make me a masterpiece. Like
Zombies better be incredible.
Yeah. I get burned out.
It's not going to be. This is how software works. If you give a software development team 24 months to build something, they will build it in the last 2. It always happens.
Switch to those crazy expensive earbuds.
Yeah, I've got a pair of those on the way. Actually, these are my ear impressions. They look like chewed up bubblegum.
Oh,
I went and got. I went and got some.
They take your impressions and then they custom mold.
Yeah, like a silicone they put into your ear hole, and then you send them off, and they custom mold you earphones. The same company that did them for Landmark sent me an email, and they're like, "We want to make you some." And so I'm going to send off these ear impressions and get a set of those. But apparently they're amazing, but extremely expensive. But
yeah, they're like $1,500.
Yeah,
right?
Oh, yeah, like $1,200 is entry level. Yeah, like that's the cheapest. That's crazy.
So back at SHOT Show in like 2012, maybe I ran into some people that were making those as ear protection, like Active Ear Pro. You know, it's reacting to gunshots and such, like just like a Tarkov. But you know, they did the same thing. They would take a mold of your ear, and he was showing them to me, and they do all sorts of colors, and they could make it all wacky if you wanted. But it was like this perfectly molded in the ear, Active Ear Pro, and I thought it was super cool. But I think they were really expensive, like close to what you're talking about. I have $800 in my head, but it could have been more. And I just remember being like, "Yeah, if you give me some, I'll wear them."
Yeah. I've only ever seen people get like custom molded. They essentially just end up looking like this, but they're custom molded like earplugs for people that work around like super loud machinery and stuff like that. But I've never seen actual molded headphones before, and so keen to try 'em.
Yeah, I've never had earbuds of any kind that don't cause like real ear pain after 10, 15 minutes. Like every time I'm on a flight, I just bring a headset now because I'd get off and I'd be like rubbing the inside of my ear, my thumb, like, God, that fucking aches. That hurts so fucking much. It's like if you ever play football and like that first day of getting used to a new helmet, like it just feels like it's crushing your skull. Like it's just awful. I hate wearing earbuds, but something like that I could get down with. But not for
that's what I was worried about, because like I used to wear inner ears when I worked as a software engineer, and I'd have them in my ear all day, and then I started getting ear infections because it was just like so much time spent with them, like 8 hours a day. It was obviously like I'm sweating inside there, and then I'm like it's a lot of bacteria and stuff in there.
Gross.
So like I started getting ear infections, and so I switched to headphones. But I'm hoping these are better, like more breathable, because they look like they've got like an open sound stage, like they're open back, so they get a bit of air and stuff in there. So
I noticed he touches them a lot, like to really seat them well.
Landmark uses they're called Duo ones, so they're not the custom molded ones. They're just like the same as normal ones, but they're really expensive, like drivers and like high quality sound. He does. I don't think he uses his custom ones on stream. I was talking to him about it the other day, and he said he prefers the Duos because they're more open back for streaming, but he does use the other ones for other stuff.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna get the custom ones and try those and see what they're like.
Yeah, he's the only one I've ever seen that like rock those, and I watch him a good bit. But shit, that is expensive. I'd be so afraid of, like, I don't know, I can't step on this and break them, but like I guess you're gonna treat them like what they are, like all right, these back fucking protective.
You're gonna be really careful. I'll probably just I hang my headset off my microphone arm, so like if I get up and it's on my head, it just falls and then hangs. So it's like I'll probably do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I hope they work out well. They must be good because he uses them. Someone was like, yeah, but they pay him. And I'm like, he makes enough money that he wouldn't use a headset he didn't like.
Like I always say that about like sponsorships, and they're like, oh, they're paying you. It can't be real. It's just like, I wouldn't choose to be sponsored by someone that I don't like, because I would push the product and I wouldn't care about it. And like, I have enough money to not give a fuck. So it's like, why would you bother? Why would I waste my time?
Yeah. I'm like, oh, so you think that Landmark is using a headset that he doesn't like and doesn't work very well for the amount of money
like
paying him?
Obviously a millionaire. Like, he earns way more money than me, and
he's killing it.
I earn more than enough to not care about that. So
yeah, it's absurd. He likes that headset, and if there was something better that would give him any edge over it, he'd use that instead. But he doesn't.
That's what, like these ones, like I've been trying to get sponsored by Bay Dynamic for ages. They're not interested in it, and I've been set so many gaming headsets, and I use them. I'm like, these are shit, and I get offers for like multiple thousands of dollars a month just to wear a headset, and I'm like, nah, they're just so shit. I can't in good conscience recommend these to people and be like, these are better than my Biodynamics. But
I don't have any experience with like multiple headsets. I've never sat there and worn more than one at a time. I just pick them and buy them. But I can hear so well in Tarkov with these, like better than anybody else I play with. I'll be like, stop moving.
What have you got?
The AX, the A50Xs or whatever that.
Oh yeah, they're really good. Yeah.
I'm always the one that hears people in Tarkov. I'm the ultimate sound whore, which is probably because I don't have any way of like. I know a lot of people put like I can't think of what you call it, but like a limiter so they don't blow out their ears. An equalizer,
compression.
Yeah, I don't have it. It just gets loud for me. Like it's so fucking.
If you have a high quality headphone though, that doesn't matter, because high quality headphones, like if you have like shit drivers, when it gets loud, it becomes really uncomfortable because it's just like synthetic fucked noise that's like mixing together. But if you have a high quality drivers, when it gets loud, it's not as uncomfortable, so you can crank it up quite loud before it becomes a garbled mess.
I play really loud if I'm playing any kind of shooter where hearing steps matters.
100%. Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't really mind so much. The only game I've seen recently that I'm really excited for, what's that game? The Warhammer 40K game that's coming out. The something Tide.
Total War. Oh,
Yeah,
Vermintide.
Not Vermintide, but it's the sequel to Vermintide, the 40K version.
The Dark
anyway.
Tide.
Dark Tide, that's what it is.
That makes
Have
sense.
you ever done that with a girlfriend, Taylor? Like played a game where like one of you was on the controller and the other was watching and sort of teaching or going through the story?
Yeah, I did that with my girlfriend probably 6 months ago or so on Pokemon. She had never gotten into Pokemon, and so she was playing it up on the TV in my living room. One of the new ones, and there's like a bunch of
Pokemon
types I don't
Go?
know about. No, Pokemon
It's the new one.
Sapphire or Emerald, not Emerald.
That was
not
10 years
Sapphire.
ago. What?
I'm just fucking
Violet?
with him.
I don't remember, but it's the brand new one that's like open world. So usually in Pokemon games, like you walk around and you walk through tall grass. Scarlet and Violet, thank you, Zach. And like it's then like an alert pops up and it's like you've encountered a Pokemon, and like then it shows what the Pokemon is. But it's just you walking through tall grass. You don't see anything. In this one, it's like Skyrim style open world, and you see the Pokemon in the environment. And so you'll see one that's rare, and you're like, oh, I got to sprint over there and get that guy. And they were all new types of Pokemon that I didn't know. And so she'd be asking me like, what's this one good against? What are the type matchups? And I'm like on my computer, like, actually, I didn't even know there was a fairy type of Pokemon. I'm more of an original 150 guy. And so let me check this. Oh, they're bad against steel type. We need to get a strong steel type. And so Pokemon is such a good game franchise. There's a reason it's the biggest IP on Earth. It's so fun. Like I played through Pokemon every probably 2 years.
I can get really pissed off watching somebody play if they make a mistake though. I talked about that time in Baldur's Gate where she fucked up and picked the wrong like strength skill or something to use with the hag's hair, and I just like so mad. I'm so mad. So fucking mad.
Because she ruined the build, and Kyle knows how much better it could be.
You ruined the build. Like we have been. That? You've also got to keep in mind that like we must be 25 hours in, and every step up until now has been optimal. Like I've made sure that every decision was optimal, that every item was collected, so that this character is just building. Like this character is going to slay. This is going to be so fucking overpowered at the end of the game. I'm psyched to watch it happen. And then like this wasn't just a bad step. This was like I don't even know if it'll work anymore. Like I think I would start over.
I was doing it with the Pokemon thing with my girlfriend, and it's not a Game Boy. It's like a Switch controller, and she's such a non-gamer that she had never. Have you ever like played a two joystick controller with like a boomer who doesn't know how to like look up and to the side in concert with one another, and it's like herky jerky.
I'm right here.
No, you're a boomer, but you're a gamer, so you would never do that. Like I was like I'd watch her for the first like probably 2 weekends we were doing it, and I'd be like, yeah, you see that item over there? Just go ahead and hop on your steed and ride over to that one. No, just to the right. Nope. No, it's over to the right. No, it's to the right. Nope, we're gonna turn around all the way again. Nope, we're further now.
Why are you looking at your feet?
We are further now than when we started. like I'm just getting agitated a little bit, and she's like, "I'm sorry, I don't know how to play games," and I'm like, "I know, yeah, yeah." Just go
sound
ahead
like me during jujitsu.
Really?
Trying to teach kids.
Dude, are they not good ever?
No, never. It's just, you'll show them exactly what to do, and it'll be something as simple as like pick your phone up with your right hand. They'll be like, I got it right. And it's like, holy fucking shit. No, bud. No.